taking on the Cleveland Browns. We talked earlier about the Jets and Nathaniel Hackett and how much pressure he's under. And I don't know how much pressure there really is. When you have Aaron Rodgers, it's hard to say there's pressure. He's going to be under a lot of scrutiny after last year, and these comments from Sean Payton make it a bigger deal. Our draft for today, the coordinators under the most pressure for 2023. I got a pretty long list. I see you scribbling over there old school style. I got mine on my phone. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't I be the one who's scribbling with a pen?
This is one thing that I need to make an adjustment with my life is I got to start to be a little more digital when it comes to my note-taking and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were just complaining about the
I know. How dare you call me out on my wrongness?
Captain
How dare
Planet.
You? I know.
You're killing trees left and right with your notebooks.
It kills me. And
You're like Rain Man with those notebooks.
I am. I know. But that's, first off, I'm a big, I'm into my memory. I remember things better when I write it as compared to typing. I don't know why that is. I don't. Do you have that problem?
Well, no, because whatever I write, I don't know what it was when I go back and look at it. Like I keep notes from time to time because I try to keep to-do lists, and I'm more likely to actually remember to do the things on the to-do list if it's on a piece of paper in front of me.
Yes.
But then I'll pick it up and it's like, what the hell is that? What am I supposed to do? First item on every to-do list, write the to-do list so you know what the hell you're supposed to do.
Yeah, well,
I do that all the time because I just do it real quick, and it's like, I don't know what that is. It's like,
you can't read what the hell it is. Yeah. I know. I think I got to get that iPad and, the the touch pen, and I might try to do that next year, right?
Do you still, like, I remember being in school as a lefty, when we used pencils.
Every now and then.
I'd come home, and anybody out there's been left-handed, the world discriminates against lefties.
Yeah.
You would have this streak of graphite down your entire hand.
I still do it, certain pens that are maybe a little too inky or whatever, right? I definitely will get it on the left hand in that spot you're talking about.
Hopefully I never had an open wound that was seeping into.
Well, it might explain a lot. I mean, I don't know. Got in your brain, All right. Did you eat paint chips as a kid?
I don't know. Coordinators under the most pressure for 2023. Who you got?
All right. I think I'm going to go to Dallas and Brian Schottenheimer. I think that's where I'm going to start right off the bat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
I
thought it's all McCarthy now.
Well, that's where I was going to kind of say that too.
Yeah.
It's a tag team duo there. But I think we're all going to be looking at that, right? I mean, their offense statistically has been, towards the top of football. They got rid of an offensive coordinator. They want to change how they play and be a little bit more run first. One of the things that I've always questioned about both the guys that you just said, I mean, McCarthy or Schottenheimer, is how deep their passing game playbook is. I was a little underwhelmed with McCarthy's pass game playbook. You know that when he at the end of his tenure with Green Bay. It was very simple. So, and then I just feel like and then the Dak Prescott interception thing, get him back on track, right? The last 2 or 3 years, I mean, really, I feel like Dak, ever since he hurt his ankle, has not been quite the same as what he was before that. And so that's where I'll put them under the most pressure here for my first pick.
I've got my list that I have on my phone.
Yeah.
Pete's put some names here, and Pete reminded me of one, even though I've got a bunch here. I got to go Chargers offensive coordinator Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
And here's why. We don't think of it this way.
Right.
But there have been times in the past where you have a defensive coach who's on the hot seat, who needs his offense to get better in a hurry.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to find an offensive coordinator because that guy knows going in the door. I remember when Lovie Smith was with the Bears, they couldn't find a coordinator. They eventually dusted off Mike Martz. But you're getting everybody fired if you don't get the job done. And if Kellen Moore doesn't get it done with Justin Herbert, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's out.
Yeah.
It's over. Now, Moore just got fired in Dallas, so he doesn't care. But the pressure on him, the literal pressure, every coaching job in the building is riding on Kellen Moore. Because if they don't get it done this year, especially after the $52.5 million per year extension given to Justin Herbert, if they don't get it done this year, if they don't get to the playoffs, minimum playoffs, and they can't survive another, hey, we're up 28-0, let's take our foot off the gas. And there it goes. If they don't get to the playoffs and maybe even win a game, and we already know the Buzzards are circling for that job, everybody's gone.
Agreed. Oh, man, that would have probably been my other first pick. And it's kind of funny. But, yeah, I think with everything you're saying there, everybody recognizes that Justin Herbert's special, right? And that last offense didn't fit him. So that's where I look at it. It's crazy. I mean, Kellen Moore, let me just say this. Yeah, this is where it's crazy, and this is what ultimately led me to go with the Dallas guys as my first one. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator out of the last 4 years, the number 1 offense in football and the number 2 offense in football. And then one year was Dak Prescott getting hurt, where I think they were still top 12. And the other year, last year, they were like top 10 or 11.
Why'd they fire him?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but that's the reason. But to your point, I agree with your pick. But it's just crazy when you kind of lay it out in those terms a little bit, and that's why I went with Dallas first. But yeah, it's a big year for Kellen Moore. We want to see what he can do. You're right. The whole organization is kind of teetering on him. We heard enough rumors and things to think that Jim Harbaugh, and Sean Payton liked that Chargers job last year, and if this doesn't look good, other candidates are going to be looking at that one too. All right, I'm going to go with Aaron Glenn on the Lions, defensive coordinator. I mean, again, I think it's just the expectations of the Detroit Lions, right? They've made some improvements on their roster, definitely, but they were the last defense in football last year, number 32. And we're talking about a team who's opening the season up against the Kansas City Chiefs, and everybody's looking at, are the Lions next, right? I don't question the offense. I think the offense is going to be good no matter what. I mean, Ben Johnson is really good, but they got a ton of talent there. Aaron Glenn, the talent isn't quite as good as it is on the offense, certainly. And then the way things looked last year and all that, if they want to be where people are projecting them to be, that defense has to be significantly better. And that's why I'll look at Aaron Glenn, because I think a lot of people will put him under the spotlight if things don't go the right way.
I'm going to go with the guy that we mentioned yesterday when we were rattling off all the players in Pittsburgh that could be great on that offense.
Yeah.
I do a segment every Wednesday afternoon. This week I did it yesterday because we're going to be tied up today, but 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, and Andrew Filipponi, I mean, he's been trying to fire Matt Canada, I think, for as long as I've been doing it, if not longer. So Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator of the Steelers, I think is under a ton of pressure, because whether or not that offense goes, you can't say you don't have great players.
No.
You can't say you're devoid of talent. And Mike Tomlin is kind of, if not entirely, hands off on the offense.
Right.
So Canada's got to get it done. I don't know. At the end of the day, Art Rooney, is he going to make a change? I don't know. I feel like he's the one that makes those calls, not the head coach.
Yep.
But at some point, it becomes glaring, and there's been a ton of criticism and a ton of focus on Matt Canada. And with that many great players, it's on him to make it work.
Good pick. Good. There's no excuses this year, right? I think we could go, Big Ben was old and not the same, and last year it was a rookie quarterback, and their offensive line hasn't been very good. Their offensive line should be better. You said it. The receivers, the tight ends, the running back, they're all good. We got to start seeing some results on the field for them. All right, we going one more pick here?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go Todd Monken of the Ravens. All right, I'm going to go there. I mean, of course, we're all talking about it. Is Lamar Jackson in the passing game? Is he going to take off? I think the Ravens are a team that's in the Super Bowl conversation. And so they made a big change there, leaving Greg Roman, firing him, going to Todd Monken, who's now coming back from college, back into the NFL. And got some moving parts and some personalities to deal with. I'll take him, as there's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, we just assumed that this guy's Bill Walsh.
I know, like everyone's just going, hey, he's coming in, they're going to be better, and it's just we'll see.
I think the concern there is that it's like a kid playing Madden, or a grown-up, as the case may be. You got that one play that always works. That whenever you're having any difficulty whatsoever, you revert back to what you know works. They've got all this stuff drawn up, and OBJ, and they drafted your Zay Flowers, your guy from Boston College, and they've got 2 tight ends that can get it done, and they're going to pass, 3rd and 6, when in doubt, let Lamar be Lamar. That's going to be the temptation, not lean into the easy first down, the easy gotta-have-it play, because you still have Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Can they discipline themselves? And it's going to be up to Todd Monken to get the players, to get Lamar Jackson to discipline themselves. That's going to be the challenge.
Yeah.
All right, Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. After everything that happened last year with Mac Jones, with Bill Belichick, with that team's going to go as far as the offense takes them. And if they don't get to the playoffs, it could be. Who knows?
I know.
Who knows?
I'm with you.
If you pay attention to what Robert Kraft is saying, the signs are there that Bill Belichick might need to get to the playoffs in order to be back next year. Well, it makes Bill O'Brien no different than Kellen Moore then.
Right.
It's all on him. He's got to turn around the weakness of the team, and if he doesn't do it sufficiently, it could be everyone's gone. And the carrot for him, the brass ring for him is, if the Browns don't get it done and they want to make a change, why wouldn't they bring Bill O'Brien to coach Deshaun Watson again?
That's a valid point. You're right. And, there is pressure. There's a spotlight. But also I look at it and go, damn, everybody's just going to be, whoa, thank God he's here this year too. So there might be a breath of fresh air too that just Billy O'Brien
until they start playing,
until they start
losing.
And they want to see results and Mac Jones
and
what he's doing.
Is dropping F-bombs.
Right.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.